By the middle of the 21st century, world oil reserves were beginning to run out. Russia and Chinese reserves became unviable by 2040, and North American reserves by 2047. In 2053, jihadists simultaneously detonated a number of crude nuclear devices around the Persian Gulf, which spelled doom for the petroleum-based world's energy sources. Now, the United States quickly embarked on a solar-powered satellite program, which was an engineering feat rivaled only by the space race of the previous century. And in 8 short years, a series of 30 Solaris satellites were built and launched with their massive arrays of solar panels that were able to capture enough energy to supply power to the entire world. Now, the U.S. used their control of energy to strong-arm most of the world, including many of their long-term allies, into acquiescing to American desires. As this happened, relations with their old allies in Asia and Europe began to sour. Now, in addition to providing energy, the Solaris system had another purpose. Secretly, the United States had installed anti-missile lasers in each satellite. And while these lasers could avert the threat of nuclear war caused by intercontinental ballistic missiles, they were in direct violation of the Nuclear Weapons Reduction Act, which banned the use of Strategic Defense Initiative hardware in space. It wasn't long, however, until Russia and Chinese intelligence ferreted out the U.S.'s Sentinel in the Sky program, and they were outraged over the fact that Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program had finally become a reality nearly 70 years after its initial development. They accused the U.S. of holding the world hostage and wrecking the careful balance that each country's nuclear arsenal had created. Now, Beijing and the Kremlin vowed revenge, and the world was once more engaged in a Cold War, where smaller nations supported by the Big Three waged proxy battles against each other, trying to restore the balance of power. After 10 years of warfare, China and Russian resources were nearly depleted, as they had drawn from their rapidly dwindling reserves of fossil fuels, which were mostly coal and natural gas. Through diplomatic and economic means, China was able to form an alliance with India, Japan, and Korea to form the Asian People's Alliance. And the Russians were able to do much the same with Eastern Europe, Germany, and France to form the Euro-Socialist Pact. Finally, the nations of Central and South America, who still had a fair amount of fossil fuel under their control, formed the Central American Federation, chiefly led by Brazil, Venezuela, and Mexico. Now, the constant warfare of the last decade had also drained American resources. The U.S. Navy had been decimated by New Taiwan in the Battle of the South China Sea, and the armed forces had lost a huge number of troops when they aided Argentina against South Africa in the Antarctic War. And while the U.S. still had a tremendous advantage over each of the factions on their own, the combined force of the Allies was a serious threat to America's existence. Finally, the Triple Alliance was about to strike against American hubris. While nuclear attacks were no longer feasible, a conventional invasion of the U.S. soil could bring the hated Yankees to their knees. The plan was for the Asian People's Alliance to attack the West Coast, the Central American Federation would attack along the Mexican border, and the Euro-Socialist Pact would assault the East Coast. Luckily for the U.S., Canada chose to remain neutral, blocking a potential attack from the north. On a beautiful May morning in 2062, the coordinated attack struck. Hey folks, this week's game is Fortress America, and it was published in 1986 by Milton Bradley, and its designer was Michael Gray. So let's get to the rules. Now, the game can be played with either 2, 3, or 4 players. In this 2-player game, player 1 plays all 3 of the invaders that are attacking the United States, while player 2 plays the USA player. In a 3-player game, player 1 plays the Western and Eastern invaders, while player 2 plays the Southern invaders, and player 3 plays the USA. Finally, in a 4-player game, each player plays a different invader, while player 4 plays the USA player. Now, the game board is divided into 5 sectors: a west, Rocky Mountains, south, plains, and east. And the sectors are divided by thick red borders that run along the territory borders, and these are important for partisan placement. Now, the United States is also divided into territories, and when the game begins, all the territories are owned by the USA player. Now, there's 3 types of territories that have special significance in the game: city territories, mountains, and resources. There are 30 city territories on the game board, and each is marked by a symbol and a name. And each city territory captured counts towards an invading player's individual victory. Also, for each city territory recaptured, the USA player draws an additional partisan card. Now, the mountain territories are distinguished by their dark brown color, and each mountain territory is part of a mountain range or a plateau, and it contains at least part of that mountain's name within its borders. Now, these territories are designated on certain partisan cards as territories where the partisans would pop up. Finally, there's resource territories, and there are 3 of these. There's oil, agricultural, and mineral. And these territories are designated on certain partisan cards as territories also where partisans can spring up. On the edges of the map are the invasion zones, and each invader has 6 invasion zones, and they're the game spaces from which all the invading units begin their attack on the U.S. And each invasion zone is marked by the invader's colors, and it counts as a game space. Now, the invasion zones are similar to territories in movement and combat, but they can never be occupied or controlled by a USA player. Now, it's important to understand which territories are adjacent to each other on the map. Territories that share a common border are adjacent, and territories that meet at a point are not. Now, the invasion zones are adjacent to territories and to other invasion zones that share a common border. And for movement, each territory or invasion zone counts as a game space. Some units can move to only one adjacent space, while others can move further, and during combat, units can attack each other only from adjacent spaces. Now, there's 4 different colors of markers on the game. There's the Western Invader, which are the yellow markers, the Southern Invader, which is the blue pieces, the Eastern Invader, or the red pieces, and finally the US player, which uses the green or gray pieces. Now, each invader takes the marker showing their forces symbols, and this has a control side of the marker, which indicates invader control of a territory. Now, the USA doesn't have any control markers. They control every territory until an invader takes control away from them. Also, the USA player has 12 laser fire markers, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Now, note that for the USA player, the partisans are a lighter green than the USA infantry, and they're in a kneeling rather than the standing position. There's also partisan cards, and partisan cards are used by the USA player only. During the reinforcement phase, they will draw 2 of these, allowing them to place partisan units and or replacement units on the game board. And again, we'll talk about this in a little bit. Now, when setting up, the US player places a city marker in each of the 30 city territories, and 2 units of any type in each of these also. Now, the lasers and partisans are not placed on the game board at this time. And it's a good idea for the USA player to place their bombers and helicopters in city territories that are not likely to be attacked on the invader's first turn. The invaders will then place all of their units in their respective invasion zones, and invading units enter the game in waves of attack, 1 wave of a specific number of units per turn. The first wave of the game involves 8 infantry, 4 hover tanks, 3 mobile units, 3 helicopters, 2 bombers. So there are 20 units distributed through the player's 6 invasion zones. And they can distribute any combination of units as long as there are no more than 5 units per zone. And when the invader is setting up, there's 2 factors that need to be considered. Where do they want to attack the U.S. first? And they may choose to capture city territories immediately, or they may decide to capture unoccupied territories first, and then attack city territories later from more than one side. The second consideration is how heavily they will attack. They can capture unoccupied territories without a battle using only 1 unit, but to capture occupied territories, they're going to have to exceed the strength and number of the defending units. Now, in a 4-player game, play always goes from the Western Invader to the Southern Invader to the Eastern Invader to the USA. And if you have fewer players, you're going to follow the same basic pattern, but obviously with fewer people. Now, as shown on the reference card, there's a specific sequence of actions each player has to take on their turn. The first action is reinforcements. The second action is to declare battles. The third action is to make their first movements. The fourth action, for U.S. players only, is to fire lasers. The fifth action is to engage in combat. The sixth action is the second movement. The seventh action is for the invaders to make a supply check. And the eighth action is to capture territories. So let's go through these actions in order. Now, Action 1 is reinforcements. During Action 1, players place reinforcement units on the board in any way that they prefer, as long as they don't violate the 5 units per space limit. Now, while a player can move through a territory with 5 units, they can't end movement if there would be more than 5 units in that territory. Now, the 20 units that each invader places in their invasion zones during setup are considered reinforcement units for their first turn. So for the invaders, Action 1 is already completed when the game begins. Now, the 40 units remaining in each invader's tray are brought onto the game as reinforcement units on turn 2 through 6, that is 8 units per turn. And they can place any combination in the invasion zones up to the 5 unit per zone limit. Now, these units can move and attack later on in the same turn. However, after turn 6, all 60 military units will have entered the game, and the invaders begin future turns with Action 2 and don't get any further reinforcements. and if an invading unit is destroyed during play, it's permanently removed from the game. Now, for the U.S. player, there are 3 types of reinforcement units: lasers, partisans, and U.S. units previously destroyed by the invaders. Now, reinforcements placed on the board can move and attack later in the same turn. And in the rare event that a U.S. player runs out of partisan units, they can substitute infantry. During reinforcement, the U.S. player follows 2 steps in order, beginning with turn 1. First, they place a single laser in any U.S.-owned city territory, and there's a limit of 1 per city territory. And second, they draw 2 partisan cards from the deck and immediately follow the directions on them. They then place any used partisan cards face up in the discard pile. Now, partisan cards are only used by the U.S. player, and on the left side of each card is a brief war report that tells where the action will occur. On the right side are silhouettes of military units that tell what type and number of pieces are to be placed. Now, some cards mention a city territory, a mountain territory, or a specific type of resource territory, and you'll always use the symbol that's shown on the card and on the game board legend. Cards that mention a sector give you a choice of territories within that sector to place your units. For instance, if a partisan card mentions the eastern sector, the player can place their units in any eastern sector territory or territories. Now, when drawing cards, the player draws 2 partisan cards and they immediately follow the directions on them at that time in the order of the draw. And depending on what they draw, some will be playable, some will be partially playable, and some unplayable. And you just place the unplayable partisan cards in the discard pile. Now, reinforcements can be placed in friendly territories, unoccupied enemy-controlled territories, except unoccupied enemy-controlled city territories. And reinforcements cannot be placed in invasion zones, enemy-occupied territories, or unoccupied enemy-controlled city territories. Now, for every city territory that the U.S. player recaptures, they can draw a bonus partisan card for use during the reinforcement phase of their next turn. So to show this, when they recapture the city, they take a card and place it face down in front of them without looking at it. And if they have 1 or more bonus cards from the previous turn, they follow the directions on them 1 at a time after they draw and use their first 2 partisan cards. And now, a territory controlled by the U.S. won't contain markers or invader units. Now, it may or may not contain the U.S. player's military units. Now, invaders control a territory if they have any of their control markers in it. Now, something important to reiterate here is that the invaders are free to cooperate or battle against each other as they like. Combat between invaders is handled in the same fashion as combat against U.S. forces. Moving on to Action 2, which is declaring battles. In Action 2, the players must declare which territories they plan to attack during their combat phase. And they do this by placing a battle marker in the territory and then announcing that that is a declared territory. And a player can declare battles in 2 or more adjacent territories from a single territory. However, during combat, each unit can only participate in 1 battle. And in this situation, the attacker has to declare which unit will fight which territory, and they face these units towards the declared territories. Now, to be in combat position, the attacking unit or units has to be adjacent to the declared territory. And remember, territories that meet at a point are not adjacent to each other. Now, note that bombers and helicopters each have an additional combat position, which is discussed in Action 3. Now, an attacking invader must place a battle marker in the declared territory regardless of whether they're attacking U.S. or another invader. Now, since the U.S. player doesn't own battle markers, instead they flip over the invader's already placed marker so that it's the battle side up in the declared territory. And to declare a battle in an invasion zone, you take one of the invader's markers from their tray and you place it battle side up in the declared zone. Action 3 is the first movement. During Action 3, players can move units from one invasion zone to another, from one friendly territory to another, from a friendly territory to an unoccupied enemy territory, or not at all. Now, neither infantry units nor partisan units can move during first movement. They can battle enemy units during combat, however, if they're already in a combat position. Now, mobile units and hover tank units can each move into an adjacent friendly territory during first movement. And unlike foot units, they can move into combat position in first movement. Helicopters can move up to 2 adjacent spaces during first movement, and a helicopter can fly over any territory, friendly or enemy, to land in a friendly territory. Now, helicopters also have the special ability to land in an unoccupied enemy-controlled territory, except an unoccupied enemy-controlled city territory. Now, before moving a helicopter into such a space, the player has to declare that space for battle during Action 2 by placing a battle marker on it or flipping over in the case of the U.S. player. Now, there are 2 advantages to moving a helicopter this way. The first is that it paves the way for faster future advances of friendly units. And the second is that it can cut off possible enemy retreats. However, when a player takes advantage of this special movement rule, they pay a penalty. The helicopter cannot attack adjacent territories during combat, nor can they move during the second movement. Thus, if you move a helicopter this way, you run the risk of placing it in an out-of-supply position. Now, bombers can fly up to 4 adjacent territories during first movement, and like a helicopter, a bomber can fly over any territory, friendly or enemy, to land in a friendly territory. Unlike helicopters, however, bombers cannot land in unoccupied enemy-controlled territories. Now, a bomber can attack in 2 different ways. It can battle enemy units on land from an adjacent friendly territory, just like any other unit. It can also attack enemy-occupied territories from above. To indicate an attack from above, you place your bomber or bombers into the territory with the enemy units. And up to 5 bombers can bomb an enemy-occupied territory, regardless of the number of enemy units in that territory. This would be the only exception to the 5 units per space limit. Now, the fourth action, which only applies to the US player, is to fire lasers. And each laser that the player owns is fired once per turn in any order that the player wishes. Now, lasers can attack any area on the board, including invasion zones, that the player wishes. The player then dictates which single unit in that area that they wish to target and roll a d10. On a 1 to 4, the laser misses, and on a 5 to 10, the unit is destroyed. Now, specific areas can only be targeted by a laser once per turn. Thus, later laser attacks must target other zones. And laser markers can be used to keep track of this and removed at the end of the laser phase. Now, moving on to Action 5, players can now attack all territories containing a battle marker and at least 1 enemy unit. Combat can be fought in any order that the attacker chooses, and in each battle, the defender fires first by rolling the appropriate die for each defending unit. And this gives the defender an advantage because destroyed units are removed from the battle before the attacker gets a chance to fire them. In all combats, defender and attacker, air units fire first, then mechanized units, and lastly foot units. You roll for all defending air units, 8-sided dice for helicopters and 10-sided dice for bombers, and to resolve casualties, you can select column 2 of the combat results table. The defender always follows this table, and if you roll more than 1 die and get a mix of destroyed and disengaged results, always resolve the destroyed units first, then choose the disengaged units from those remaining. Then roll for all defending mechanized units, and 8-sided dice for hover tanks and 6-sided dice for mobiles. Again, you resolve all destroyed units before resolving any disengaged units. Finally, you roll for all defending foot units, and 6-sided dice for infantry and partisans. Now you resolve all destroyed units before resolving any disengaged units. And note that a partisan fighting alone with no other units after casualties are taken rolls an 8-sided die. Now, if all attacking units are destroyed or disengaged, the battle's over and the defender holds the territory. If not, the attacker has a chance to open fire. Now, the attacker fires by rolling the appropriate dice for each surviving attacking unit, and units are removed from battle as they're destroyed. Now, during the attacker's turn, they follow the same sequence as the defender, with 2 important differences. First, the attacker doesn't automatically use column 2 of the combat results table. If they attack a city or mountain territory without combined arms, they have to use column 1. And second, whereas the defender can roll disengagements, the attacker can roll retreats. And in both cases, destroyed results are resolved first. Now, after the attacker's last unit has fired, the battle ends in one of 2 ways. First, the defender can hold the territory with at least 1 surviving unit, or the attacker can win the battle by destroying all of the defending units in the territory. Now, the unit specification chart explains what type of units roll which dice. And the more powerful the unit firing, the more sides the die, and the greater its chance of destroying the target. You roll all die at once for each unit class if possible. For example, if you're rolling for 3 bombers on a helicopter, you would roll 3 10-sided die and 1 8-sided die all at once. Now notice that the die column shows both 6 and 8 for partisan units. If a partisan attacks or defends a territory with any other units, the player has to roll a 6-sided die. If it attacks or defends alone with no other units, not even another partisan, they gain the advantage of rolling the 8-sided die. And note that if an attacking partisan attacks with other units but ends up attacking alone after casualties are taken, it rolls the 8-sided die. Now, to see if a die roll inflicts a casualty, check the combat results table, and possible casualties are target destroyed, attacker disengaged, and defender retreated. All other die rolls are considered a miss. The targets are declared after each die roll, not before, and the order of casualty column on the unit specification chart shows which units can be chosen as the target according to the class of unit that's attacked. Now, if an attack involves a foot, mechanized, and air unit attacking in unison, it's considered a combined arms attack. And combined arms attack use the second, more powerful column on the combat results table and are often crucial when you're attacking cities and mountain territories. And it's important to remember that to make a combined arms attack, you need to have at least one of each type of unit after the defender has fired and attacker casualties have been removed. Next, you're ready to go to Action 6, which is the second movement. And the unit specification chart shows the second movement capability for each unit. For mechanized and air units, movement is the same as in the first movement. Foot units can move to one adjacent space during the second movement, whereas they can't move at all during the first movement. Now, during second movement, bombers that use their special first movement abilities have to move in the following two cases. If they survive a lost battle, and this holds true even if they became disengaged in that battle, or if they attacked alone. And whether they won or lost that battle, they have to move. Bombers alone can't capture a territory. Now, the bombers that move during second movement must fly from 1 to 4 adjacent spaces away to land in a friendly territory or an invasion zone. Now, during second movement, a player can move into friendly territories or invasion zones, into vacant territories, which they now capture, or into a vacant territory that was vacated by a helicopter that uses special first movement ability. They cannot move into enemy territories or invasion zones, and into a territory that was left vacant by a bomber. Such territory can't be captured. Now, attacking units that disengaged in combat also cannot move during second movement. And finally, you cannot move a helicopter out of a vacant territory if it used its first special movement to land there. Now, if invaders move into a vacant city territory that has a laser there, then that laser is removed from the game, and the US player can never place a laser there again, even if they recapture the city. During the 7th phase, invading players must determine if their units are isolated and out of supply. If the unit can't trace a line from that territory through territories that have at least one friendly unit and to one of their invasion zones, then that unit's isolated and they're removed from play. Finally, in Action 8, both sides can capture territories. This is a little different for the invading player and the US player. The invading player does the following. First, they check each territory with a friendly battle marker in it, and if no friendly units occupy that territory, the invading player bossed a battle there, none of their units moved into the vacant territory during the second movement, or units that moved in did not survive the supply check, you remove the marker. Now, if at least one of their units still occupies the territory, the invading player now owns it, and the battle markers flip to the control side. Then, invading units that are disengaged during combat are flipped over. Now, during Action 8, the US player does the following. First, they return any battle markers in invasion zones to the controlling invader. Next, they flip over invader battle markers in zones that the US player does not occupy. This is followed by removing invader battle markers in zones that the US player still has a unit in, followed by flipping any disengaged units right side up. And finally, for each city territory recaptured on their turn, the US player draws that partisan card from the deck. As I mentioned earlier, these are those bonus cards that are used during Action 1 to provide reinforcements. Victory in this game is pretty simple. The USA player wins if they destroy all the invader units or the invaders mutually agree to concede. The invaders win by controlling at least 18 city territories at the end of any USA turn. And when an invader victory is achieved, the invaders take one last turn each to determine which invader is the individual winner. And this is done as an invaders-only round. The invaders then total their victory points. They get 3 points for each resource territory, 5 points for each US laser taken, and 10 points for each city territory. And the invader with the most victory points is the individual winner. Hey folks, this week's game is Milton Bradley's Fortress America. It's a game of Cold War paranoia from the 1980s, or the paranoia is from the 80s. Pretty good game, and I've got it set up here with the Asian People's Alliance here on the left coast. I've got the Central American Federation down here to the south, and then the commies are over here coming taking the east coast. So that's pretty much the setup. Now, there's been a lot of debate online about how the setup works. A couple rules I would follow, though, is as a U.S. player, I would keep my helicopters and my bombers in the interior here and then see where I'm going to be needing them. And I've kind of tried to keep a little bit of the weaker units here along the coasts and the south. So let's zoom in here a little bit. Zoom in at 50%. That looks pretty good, I hope. Let me know down below if I'm pulling out too far and to see stuff when I'm playing this. Let me know, because I always feel like I can see this fine on my computer, but when you actually run it as a video, it looks a little bit different. So, and when I've done that, I've noticed that too. And sometimes it's kind of hard to see what's going on. So let's go ahead and get started. This is this Vassal edition. I'm using the 2.2 of Fortress America. This, just as a side note, this game looks great. I've got an actual physical copy, and setting it out with the physical copy and all the little plastic pieces is a lot of fun, and it looks great, but it's a lot easier to do the Vassal module when I'm doing an online playthrough. But this 2.2 I like because it's kind of at that, there's 3 or 4 different Vassal versions, and this one's kind of in the happy medium. I think the later versions get they do a little bit too much on the automation, and so it's kind of hard to follow what's going on at times, and this makes it a little bit easier. Okay, a couple things other than setup. I'm going to set up as the invaders, and the little clock thing here is pretty good. Only thing I don't like here is the die rollers. They're not. I wish they could just hit the button and that would give you the die roll, but that's okay. So we're going to start with Western Invader Reinforcement Phase. Now, the Western invaders, or all the invaders for that matter, do not get reinforcements on the first turn. So we can go directly to the declaring battles. So we'll pull down here and pull our markers out, and I'll just pull a battle marker out. Now, this is a pretty standard for opening move. In fact, it comes out of the rule set. You're going to see the same opening move. Now, this helicopter I'm going to battle across here so that he can cut off Portland. Gives me a slight advantage, and those slight advantages are what you need in this game. So, and then of course we'll attack Portland proper. We'll go down here, and here, and here, and actually I'm going to hold off on this, like on the Valley region there. I'm going to hold off on that because I really want to hit San Francisco hard. So actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, okay. There we go. I'm going to do that because that will, actually that was not going to cut off. I was thinking I could cut off San Francisco with a helicopter here, but I'm not, because San Francisco and Los Angeles can move, and even San Diego. So I needed to cut one of those guys off to cut San Francisco off. So I can't do anything here. Probably need my helicopter. And I think I'll battle up here, and I'll move into the valley with that guy. These 3 will move here. And, oh, I'm done declaring battles. Let me show you. Yeah, everything looks good. Okay, now I can begin first movement. Now I always start with air units, and I'll start with the bombers. Now I think the bombers could come up to, again, I want to use San Francisco because I'm going to have this guy attack the valley. Helicopter, he's good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Move this guy down, and this guy down, and move that guy over Portland, this guy up, and this guy's going to go here, and I think this guy's going to come down. Okay, everybody, I don't think I've got any broken the stacking limits. Okay, I think that's my first movement, and so we begin with combat, and we're going to start with combat with Portland. Now, Portland gets to defend. The defenders get to go first, which is always a huge advantage. And we're going to start with that hover tank, and they roll a D8. I guess I'll put this up here so you can see it here. Hover tanks, D8 right there. And I'll keep this up for a little while, but you'll get pretty used to the combat table. I may refer to it every once in a while, but okay. So you roll a D8, and they get 1 die, and they get a 7. So they get to pick off a unit. Now, a hover tank picks off foot or mech first, and definitely I'm going to take the mech unit out. So we're going to take out that hover tank because those are the most powerful of the mech units. Okay, now the little guy here goes, the infantry. He gets a D6, and we want 1 die. not 14. Okay. And we get a 2, and a 2 won't do anything. Okay, now the yellow guys are going to go, and they're going to start with the bomber. And the bomber rolls a d10. And one thing to note, which column am I going to use for the results? I've got enough for combined. I've got air, infantry, and mech. So I am actually able to use the column 2 over here. Let's roll it. We'll start with the d10 from the bomber. And I got a 9, so that can delete any unit. Well, of course, I want to get rid of the worst unit here. Or not the worst, the most deadly. So the bomber's got to do his thing. Okay, now we do the helicopter. He gets a d8 and gets a 3, so nothing. The mech unit goes with a d6 and gets a 1. Okay, so the mech unit is the attacker. Now that means that they disengage, so they can't move. They don't get, basically disengagement means they don't get a second movement. I wasn't real clear on retreats and disengaging here. Retreats are when a defender is making their rolls, and they would get 1. Disengage is basically, and retreats mean you go into another area, you back up to another area. Disengage means you can't do anything for the rest of the turn. Basically, you sit in the area that you're at. Okay, now I've got 2 infantry, a 1, and a 2. So nothing and nothing. Well, that looks bad. Okay, so we can delete the battle marker. I go ahead and delete it while we're here. This makes for a bad situation for that helicopter. We've essentially lost him because he can't move. Okay. In San Francisco, Battle of San Francisco, we've got a mobile unit, and the mobile unit has a d6. And they roll a 3, so nothing. And the infantry rolls a 7, so they're able to take some effect, but they have to take a foot unit out. Okay. Now that means that we no longer have combined arms here, so we have to use the column 2 because this is a city or mountain. Oh, I'm sorry, column 1. Yeah, you have to. Basically, instead of rolling a 5 or better to beat a unit, you have to roll a 6 or better. So. Okay, bombers. Bomber gets a 3, nothing. The hover tank goes with a 1, disengaged. And the helicopter goes, I went out of turn 7. Okay, so helicopter can take their choice. They're going to take the mech unit. And that ends the battle. So again, we did take San Francisco. Okay, and then here in Los Angeles, mech unit's going to fight back with a 4, nothing. And then the infantry's going to fight back with a 5. Now, they're using column 2 because they're defending, so they actually can take 1 out, and they'll destroy that infantry. Okay, now the invaders go, and we will start with the 2 hover tanks. So hover tank 1 is a 3, hover tank 2 is a 6. So that's enough to take out him. And then the mech unit goes, or the mobile infantry, 2, nothing. And finally the straight up infantry goes with a 1, so they can't move, which doesn't really make any difference because we weren't able to make any headway. Okay, combat is over. Now we go to second movement, and this guy's going to move in. This guy's going to have to move out. This guy can move in, out, and nothing else there. So, okay, that's our second movement. And then a supply check. Now everybody's in supply except this helicopter, so he is destroyed. You can see you can't go across the diagonals. Now, if I would have had a yellow unit here, he would have been fine, but he can't. So, okay. Capture territories we've done. I kind of do that as I'm working through here. I can see why it's best to wait till the end, but sometimes I just forget, so it's easier to do it this way. Okay, Southern Invader. Now it's time for him to go. His reinforcements are here. Now he's got to decide where he's going to attack. And I think we will go ahead. We'll pull the markers out. Oop, I had them out. Let's pull markers here and pull a battle marker. Oh, that coffee's good. Okay. Well, we want to take San Diego. I'll try to take Phoenix. I think I'll wait. I think I want San Diego, San Antonio. Hold off on Houston. And then let's take some of these little areas down here to keep my... Now, I don't know if this is a corner or not. It's hard to tell. Okay. I'll take those three for now. And so now we're going to try to move. We're going to move in here. I'll move my helicopter over. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can't move anymore. Those guys are fine. Those guys are fine. And there. And there. And this guy he'll come take the lower valley there. Okay. Actually, he won't. I'm going to put him in San Antonio. This guy's going to take the lower valley. And again, I just put those guys there to indicate they're fighting. Okay. Combat. Let's start here. And the hover tank gets to go. The U.S. hover tank goes. And he needs a D8. He gets an 8. Okay, so he gets to choose... hover tanks get to choose foot or mech. Well, I'll take out that mech here. Okay, then the infantry goes and gets a 3, so nothing. Okay, then the Southern Invaders go, and we start with the bomber. Gets a 9. So take out the hover tank, and then the helicopter here will go. A 3, nothing. Okay, then the mobile infantry will go. 4, nothing. And then the 2 infantry will go. 1 is a 1 and a 4, so they weren't able to do anything. Okay, so I'm going to take out that battle marker. And we didn't do anything with Phoenix. Here, we are going to just, nobody's here, so we can just flip that. Same thing here. Flip and flip. Okay, now when the Battle of San Antonio, remember the Alamo. Start with the hover tank, and he gets a 4, so nothing. Infantry gets a 2, so nothing. Then the bomber, the Southern bomber goes. 9, okay, takes out the hover tank. And then the helicopter goes. An 8, so he takes out him. And then we can flip this guy. And that ends combat. Okay, second movement. This guy will move in. And in. I'm going to move here. And here. And here. And here. This guy will move in. These guys will move in. And these guys can't do it. And then this guy has to fly out. Okay. And that ends the southern move. So again, they were able to take San Antonio, occupy it. And that's one of the 16 cities they need. Okay. I think it's 16 cities. South Invader supply check. Everybody's in supply. Capture territories we've done. And Eastern reinforcements. Okay, this is where things get sticky. The Eastern player has all the heavy lifting in this game. Declaring battles. So we're going to start declaring battles here. Try to take DC. And we will definitely try to take the Carolinas, the Piedmont region here. Okay, and Georgia. Tampa. And I think we'll leave that. So we're going to do Tampa, and we can declare battles, and then I can try to do Miami as a separate battle. Okay, Eastern Invader, first movement. Move our planes. And move their hover guy, and him. He'll move to the border. He'll move to the border. Move hover guy here. Hover guy here. He can move two. Don't think there's any really place I can go. I'm going to move here just in case. Then I can take from Miami. I can't move two. Hold on, I can, because this guy can move. Oh, don't have a battle there. Okay. There we go. Okay, I think everybody's gone. We've done our battles. We've done our movement. We do our first invader thing, and we start with DC. DC's got a mech unit, and then they need a 6 or better. With the 6. And they get a 5. Actually, they need a 5 or better because they're fighting. That's right. They use the better combat results column. So they do make a hit, and I'm going to hit the. Let's see here. Mobile units can use foot or mech. So we're going to take out a mech, and then the infantry goes, and they get a 1. So they're forced to retreat. In this case, they're forced to retreat since they were the defender. They're making the defender attack, the counter attack, I guess. Okay. Now then, the red gets to go, and the bomber rolls a d10, and they get a 4, so nothing. Then the helicopter goes with a d8, gets a 5, and they are fighting combined arms, so that counts. So they destroy that unit. You can see where knocking this guy back was helpful. If I would have had helicopters there, he would have been destroyed, but that's okay. Okay, they've won Washington. And then down here we're battling in Tampa, and we start with the mech. Gets a d6 and gets a 3, so nothing. And then the infantry goes, or when I say mech, I mean mobile infantry. So 4, nothing. Okay, the bombers go. Gets a 2, nothing. The helicopter goes. Gets a 4, nothing. The hover tank goes, gets a 6, so that counts. And a hover tank can destroy this guy. And then I'm left with these 3. Be interesting to take the hover tanks and combine that with Ogre. Okay. We're going to start with the mobile infantry here. Gets a 2, and then the 2 infantry go. 1, 2. And they had combined arms, so the 5 counts. So he's destroyed. And then we can flip that. Okay. The Eastern combat's over. Second movement. We're going to flood in here. There's 5. Okay. Here. Here. And I'll just put these guys here. Okay, there. I'm trying to set this up so that I can take Tampa or Miami on the next turn. So without the stacking limits, I should have put that helicopter down here. That's okay. And then we can occupy those cities. I need some more markers to show that I control these territories. That's one thing I always forget, is to put those markers in. Okay, that's it for the red movement phase, or Eastern Invader. They do a supply check. Everybody's in supply. We've taken our territories. And now it's time for the U.S. Now, the U.S. player is a little more complicated. We start with reinforcements. And for our reinforcements, we're going to check our partisan cards. We get 2 partisan cards. First, remember the Alamo, New Texas Rangers, South sector. I get 4 partisans in the south sector. So we'll put, whoops. Which will be handy because I can put these guys. Now, I don't think it says partisan cards. Just says South Sector. It doesn't say whether they have to be in a single area or not. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. Because I'm afraid Houston's going to get attacked. Okay, next partisan cards for the second is USA refugees form bands of resistance in the Rocky Mountain sector. Place units separately where possible. Okay. So I need 4 partisans in the Rockies separately. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Where am I going to put these guys? I think I will put them 1, 2, 3, 4. Kind of keep a continuous thing. That's going to push the south. They're going to be pushed eastward. And then that'll leave the west coast to do their thing. Then I need to, I guess I need to pull up to USA here. I need to deploy a laser. So I got my laser here. Wish it wasn't quite so close there. I can see it better. Okay, declaring battles. Now, this is a design, I don't know if it's a flaw necessarily, but it would not have taken a great deal to make a USA battle token that you could use instead of this crazy way they have of doing it. I've got an advantage here. I think I'll use it just to keep the Eastern guys slowed down a little bit. I could attack here, or I could move in here and keep that helicopter from doing its thing. Actually, I think I'm going to move here to keep the helicopter guy from moving in. Okay. Oops. I don't need to declare battles because now when you're, because the U.S. owns all the territories if no little yellow stickers in it. And you notice I forgot the yellow sticker. I call them stickers. Tokens. Markers. There we go. Let's put some markers in. Get this right. Okay, there's my markers. The South has their markers. Everybody else has their markers. Okay. But, yeah, it would have been nice to have just a little USA marker you could use just to keep things straight. He will sit there. He'll sit tight. I'll wait till I can move guys. The thing, too, is you're always at a bit of a disadvantage, a little bit of a disadvantage when you're attacking. So kind of the U.S. staying on the defense is probably a good thing. Coastally, can't do much there. I'll keep Atlanta, keep Memphis intact. DC's pretty heavily armed. I think all I can really do at this point is just move. So I will do that. First movement. Okay, now we can move. And I think the thing I'm going to do is bring him down. Let's just start with these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Move a guy down to Dallas here, and hopes he can just go 1 and 1. He can go 2, 1, 2, 1. We'll stay put there. Kind of think I'll keep Kansas City guarded there just to keep a guy back there. These guys have moved. These guys have moved. Don't really have any guy that can go to Miami. Miami's kind of lost. That's okay. Those guys can't move until the next turn. Salt Lake City, Denver. I'll move that helicopter out there. Okay, I think that's all I can do. And then I can fire a laser. Now, since it's turn 1, I can fire 1 laser. I haven't lost any. I kind of have to keep track in my head if I've lost a laser. So, okay, who do I want to fire on? I think we will definitely fire on a bomber. And I think we'll do this one right here. And we do a 10. Now, 5 through 10 means it's destroyed. I got an 8, so yeah, he's gone. Okay, so he's destroyed. And that's into firing lasers. Combat, there's no combats that I've declared. And second movement. Now I can move into place more. I think I'll move this guy here. 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, Pittsburgh, and this guy, and then we'll move this guy down and this guy down. Here, oh, I can move my bomber, my second movement, so there we go. 2 to Atlanta. Okay. He's within 4, so I think he can help things out a little bit. I'll move this guy down to New Orleans. And my helicopters are going to move. I'll keep a helicopter there. Left coast. Let's go LA. And we'll shift these guys. Nah, he's okay. There we go. Okay, everybody's been moved, I think. So that's my second movement. Capture territories. No territories to capture. And we are back, and that is the end of turn 1. So I'm going to go to the bathroom, get me another cup of coffee, and we will be back with turn 2. Now it's on to turn 2. So we will start with bringing in reinforcements for the Western Invader. This is the first turn where they can do that. So I've gone ahead and pulled these out here. I think as a Western Invader, I really want to try to push ahead as far as I can. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that. I'm going to try to use those helicopters as much as possible. This guy is in supply. Oh, I could put him here. I need to put him in the wrong areas here. We still got to try to get Portland. Oh. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't do much there. I can move him here. And here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, everybody's, yeah. I think everybody's good. Okay. So I'm going to use these to try to take Portland. That's going to be imperative that I take Portland. I'm trying to basically make a broad front that can push to Denver. If I can do that, I'll be good. I think the southern guy really needs to probably move his action eastward. We might try to get Phoenix here, but we'll see. Okay, so we've got our reinforcements. Now we declare our battles. I guess this is where things become kind of important. Pull the battle marker out. Only need one. Okay, helicopter. Oh, I can't do 2 there. I'd have to be in this hex to do the 2 thing. So I can do a battle here. We'll do that. And then, of course, we're going to need Portland attacked. We'll need a... I'll go ahead and move into the Sierra Nevadas. Okay. Move him here. Oops, I need to put a battle marker down. Duplicate and duplicate. Oops. Duplicate. We'll try to take this area here. And Los Angeles. And I was thinking I could try to get, if I had a helicopter here, I could go here, but that's not going to do it. Okay. And I need my helicopters. Okay, now let's do our, that's my battles. Anything else I'm missing? Nope, can't do San Diego. Okay, first movement. First movement, let's start with our planes. I'm going to put a guy here and here, and then we'll try to take Seattle. I could put a, yeah, I can't put the helicopter there. Okay, for here, Portland, will put a guy there. This guy will go in here. I'm going to move this guy here. And this guy here. And then Los Angeles is everybody's fighting there. So actually I'm going to move this guy down here. Then I can at least try to leave San Francisco there. Okay. Oh, I can't move in there. What am I thinking? I can't do that. This guy, I have to take that before I can move in. This guy's not like a helicopter. He can't just go ahead and do that. I think did I do that anywhere else? No, I don't think so. Okay, much better. Okay, let's start with, actually I'm going to start with Los Angeles down here. Now I've got a partisan and a infantry. And I'm going to start with the infantry. He gets a 6, so he gets to choose choose this guy. And then the other partisan goes and gets a 3 and misses. Okay, now the bomber goes and doesn't do anything. And I'm combined arms here. And then we have 2 hovercraft. 1, 2. Okay, and now I can actually take either of these 2 out. I'm going to take the partisan. He has a slight advantage because he can. If the partisan's left alone, he gets to use a D8. So we want to get rid of him. And those 2 have gone. And then we can go with the mobile infantry 6, and that takes him out. Okay, and that would be it for Los Angeles. So we can flip that. Okay, San Francisco. San Francisco begins with an infantry. He got a 6, so he can take out a unit. He gets to take out this guy. And that has the advantage of now they're not fighting as combined arms. Yellow isn't, so they have to get a 6 or better. We'll start with the hovercraft, and we get a 4. We do the 2. I should have started with the 2 helicopters. 1, which is enough. Okay, and destroy. And what I did there. Okay. I think I put a marker there by mistake, so we'll just flip it there. Okay, now it's right. And this guy, he was supposed to be fighting here. One of these two battles I didn't meet the requirements on. I don't know what you do in this case. If you get if you make a battle that's not, I think you just delete it. So we will just delete that. Okay. Kind of cheated there. That's okay. Here we go. In Portland, I have a infantry fighting with a 3, and that's a miss. And then the bomber goes, gets a 7, and deletes him. We could flip that. And then up here in Seattle, the mechanized infantry gets to go first, and they get a 2. Then the bomber goes and gets a 4, missing. And then the helicopter goes, gets a 5. Now they're not combined infantry, so I would have needed a 6, and he goes and gets a 2. So nothing there. Okay, first that's combat's over, so I can take this out. We go to we did my combat, and then with second movement, this guy has to move out. I can move all of these units into Portland. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, they all 5 can move in. This guy can move, and this guy can move. I guess he'll go there. Let's just put him there, and then this guy's gonna move in and here, and then Los Angeles is gonna okay. I think I've got everybody here. Let's see. Oh, we need a here and here. Now this was, I think I was going to fight over one of these two. I'll just go with that one now. So, and then we need to occupy and occupy and occupy. Okay, and that is the end of that's the end of yellow movement. Okay, second movement, supply check. Everybody's in supply. Capture territories we've done. I kind of combined that, and then we go to the south and their reinforcements. Now, like I said, I think I want to concentrate on Houston. So I'm going to pull in as much firepower as I can on Houston. There's 2 units there already. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. Let's try to hit San Diego and Phoenix one last time. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now then, reinforcements are in. We declare our battles. And let's get a marker here. Okay, I am going to go here. I'm going to go here and here and here. I think I'll stay. I don't think I'll attack that partisan there. I mean, it's tempting. I think I'll leave that for yellow. I think I'll leave that for yellow. And here. And here. And here. And here. Okay, move our... And over here, I'm going to actually move that guy into that battle. I'm going to move this guy into this battle and this guy to come in and keep the territory. Actually, I don't have to do that. Okay. Those are battles. And now we can... First movement. Okay, and then we're going to attack here. And this guy's going against here, here, and here. And then this guy's moving in. And he can fight. Here. 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 Here, here, here. I just kind of get these guys here, here. Get them along the border to show where they're going to be fighting. Okay, that's my movement. These infantry can't actually move into these territories yet. That's the second turn movement. So, okay, combat. Let's start and let's go down the line here. We're going to start with San Diego, and San Diego has a 1 infantry. Will defend with a 2, so nothing. Okay, then we start with the helicopter. And now these are combined arms, and they get a 7, so that eliminates him. And I'll just put all that stuff together there. Okay. Now the Battle of Phoenix, starting with the U.S. hover tank, a 1. Okay, so the hover tank moves out. Then the infantry goes and gets a 6, so they are able to fire and get any of these 2. We'll destroy him. Okay, now the Southern invaders go. A 4 from the bomber, so nothing there. They are combined arms. We have the helicopter, and it gets an 8, so that eliminates him. And we will flip him, and I'm just going to do those while I'm working at them there. Okay, they're in place. There's nothing, no battles there, no battles there. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. And actually, you can't flip because they can... See, this is an interesting about the rule. Can you flip them and then move in? I think you can. I think that's kosher to move that second movement into that because you've battled and it's now free. So, and then down here we start with the. We're going to start with this guy, that mobile infantry. Gets a 5, so he can take out any other. He can take out this guy. Okay, then I'm going to do my 2 partisans. A 1 and a 5. Okay, so the 5 works. The 1, I'm going to move back. The 5 is going to take out this guy. And then finally an infantry unit gets a 4, so nothing. Okay, now the Southern invaders get to go. We'll start with the bomber with a 7. So that's going to eliminate any unit. I am going to take out the partisan. Okay, then the helicopter gets to go. And we are still combined arms for the Southern guys. Nothing. Okay, now the mobile. I had 2 mobile infantry there. Oh, no, I had a hover tank there. Hiding. He was hiding. Okay, hover tank gets to go. Gets a 6, so he's going to take out him. And then the mobile infantry goes. Gets a 3, and then the regular infantry goes and gets a 6, so that takes out this guy. And we can flip it. Okay. We go to second movement. Basically just invading the heck out of places. I'm going to move this guy to San Antonio. And then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy will move in. This guy will move in. These guys will move in. he could move. I think I'll keep the hover tank in reserve right now. Well, no, I could get Dallas next time. Here. And then these guys are here. I think I got everybody set up along the line here. Okay. That's it for the Southern invaders. Now, the hard part. Going to the next two people are kind of hard. In this case, I'm going to set up a bomber and a bomber and a bomber and a bomber and a helicopter. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a helicopter. Actually, I'm going to set up a bomber there. We'll set up another infantry there. Another infantry there. And a hover tank down here. A hover tank here. Infantry and infantry. Okay, so we're going to try to... These guys are going to do... First of all, Tampa is going to be attacked. I think we'll try to push Atlanta as hard as we can. And while we can... And then up here, I'm going to try to weaken Philly. I think we'll try to weaken Philadelphia. As much as possible. Got quite a few guys here fighting. But Philly's a little weaker, so I think we'll try to take Philly and then New York. That'll give us some much-needed cities. Okay. Southern Invader, I'm a little behind here. Eastern Invader, declare your battles. Okay, markers. Get the commie red there. Damn commies. So we're going to go Philadelphia with bombers. And actually, I'm just going to attack Philly with everybody. Otherwise, I'm going to stay put there. I think I can fly into here. And we'll try to take Atlanta. Whoops. And here, and then here. I'm not quite ready to surround Atlanta yet, so I think we'll go ahead and do that. And then Miami, I think I can take pretty easily. Now, I've got a bomber in there, which probably a mistake on the part of the Americans. But okay, first movement begins, and this is going to be bonk, bonk, and bonk. New York, I can fly there. I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to put another bonk up there. Okay, he can bonk there and there. We can move in here and here, and then these guys are attacking from here. So, okay. Oh, bomber. I will attack with the bomber there. And that's it. Okay, all the battles are accounted for. So we'll start up in Philly. That's the biggest one. I've got hover tank and 3 infantry. So we'll start with the hover tank. And they get a 7, so they're able to take out any mech or infantry unit. And I think we're going to take out him. Okay, and then the 3 infantry go, and they need at least a 5. 1, 2, 3. So they get 2 hits, and they're going to take out him, and then they can take out the hover tank because I have no infantry left. Okay, this is not going well. Okay, now the bombers go, and there's 4 of them, and they need a. We did have a while there we had combined arms, but we don't anymore, so we need 6s or better. 1, whoops, 2, 3, and 4. So we had a 1, and that means he has to retreat back. We'll put him here, and then the other 3 hit. So we're going to take out him, and him, and him. Okay, and this leaves finally the 2 helicopters that can fight, and they can use 8s. 1, 2. So 1 hit, so that is enough. So he's destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and flip it, and I'm going to go ahead and occupy it. Okay. Down here, we're wait, but I'm going to say flipping. I'm going to go ahead and flip these guys. And then here we have 2 tanks, a helicopter, and an infantry. So it's a combined arms, and then they are fighting with the same thing. So same combined arms. Let's start with the U.S. helicopter. Gets a 3, no. U.S. hover tank gets a 5, so they can take out another hover tank. And then finally the U.S. infantry gets a 6, so they're going to take out this guy. Okay, well, there went combined arms. Okay, helicopter goes for the Ruskies, 8. I can choose, I think. Let me see, can I? Yeah, choice. So we're going to take out the other helicopter. And then the hover tank gets an 8 and gets a 3, so they miss. So battle ended up not taking Atlanta. Okay, finally down in Miami. We're going to start with the bomber. U.S. bomber gets a 6, so they can take out anything they want. Well, they're going to take out the other bomber. The hover tank goes and gets an 8. Hover tanks have a choice. They have to take another hover tank first. And then finally the infantry goes, and they get a 6, and so they have to take out an infantry. Okay. Now the U.S. player, or the Ruskies go, the attackers, and they've got combined arms, and they'll start with 1 helicopter with a 3. Then they have 1 hover tank with a 1. Okay, hover tank is not going to be able to do anything. I have 2 mobile infantry, 1 and 2. Now that 5, they were combined arms, so that counts, and mobile infantry can take out this guy. Okay, finally I have 3 infantry here, and they need a 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3. They didn't get it. Okay, so Miami holds. Man, they're taking their toll. Okay, combat, second movement. This guy can move into the territories. I'm going to go ahead and move him there. And then these guys are going to fly back. Actually, they're going to fly back into the... They can fly back into the zone here. Okay, I think that's it. Now, this is not a good position to be in. The reason being is these guys are going to pretty easily take this guy, and then they get the city of Philadelphia again, and at that point they'll get an extra card. So I might leave 1 there. I'm just going to leave 1 there. Hell, leave 2. Boy, my bomber's in short supply, but I don't want to give up Philly, so we'll just do that. Okay, that's it for second movement, and we go to supply check. Everybody's in supply, capture territories, and that puts us with the USA for reinforcements. So let's check our partisan cards. 2 mountain guerrilla units strike an invader's convoy. Destroy 2 units in any mountain territory and retreat any units left there. Not good in cities. Okay, so I have to have, the thing is I don't have any invaders in mountain territory, so this card's null. Okay, and then commercial aircraft converted in Minneapolis for 2 bombers and 2 helicopters. Okay, USA. Now I don't have 2 bombers and I only have 1 helicopter. And this is where it might be a good idea to put some helicopters out on the edges, because if they get destroyed, you can bring them back. And that way I didn't lose anything. Okay, I also get a freebie. Whoops. Let's go back to USA. Liberate, and we need to get that card. Ignore that card here, and deploy a laser. We'll put the laser here. Okay. It'll go away in a couple turns. There's my 2 lasers now I have. And I have to declare battles. Don't want to do anything over here. I think I want to stay put. I'll stay put in Salt Lake City. At this point, I think I will move back. 1, 2, 3. Down here with 2. Whoops, I'm not moving yet. Derp, 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 derp. Move up, 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 up. We're getting ahead of myself. Was he in St. Louis? I think he was in St. Louis. Okay, I need to declare battles. I forgot that. So we are looking at anything down here. Got a pretty good advantage. I think, again, I'm going to stay defensive here. Let them beat their heads against me. Can't do much there. Can't do much there. I could attack these guys. That would definitely slow things down. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go here and here and here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fight back on, try to retake Philly, try to do DC, and that guy should be in the those guys. I don't think I've got enough to Atlanta. Actually, I probably ought to defend Atlanta. That's probably the better thing to do. So I think I'm not going to do that battle. So delete. Okay, now we can move, and I'm going to move. Let's start up here. He can't do much there, can't do much there, can't do much there. I can move into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I can move this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy into here. I'm going to move here. 1, 2. Move him into Atlanta. And here. Those guys are staying put. Okay, now I can move these guys back, which I'll do. That guy went into his place, so. Okay, no major battles here. Let's see. Defensive, defensive. Everybody's defensive except here, where I'm going to try to retake DC and Philly and get me some extra cards. Let's see. So we're going to go first movement, USA. Fire lasers. Oh, okay, yeah. I've got second turn, so I got 2 lasers. And we want to do it into here. I can do 1 into here and 1 into here. Or I could do 1 out here and take out this guy. I think it would be best to take here and here. So I'm going to fire those 2. Let's start up here. I get a 6, so he's gone. And I saw some debate online about firing lasers into invasion zones, whether you can do it. It looks like the rules say you can, so I looked them over, and it sure sounds there. So if you play it differently and you think that's the way it is, let me know where you see that, so I can. And a 1, okay, that's nothing, so it doesn't do anything. Yeah, that's still all right. Now I'm done firing lasers. Now I can combat. So we're going to start up here in the battle for Philadelphia. Now starts with the Ruskies, and they get to use their bomber, and they get a 10. So they get to choose anybody they want to take out in here or here. I am going to take out this guy and try to take New York City in the next turn if I can. It's a gamble, but we might be able to make it. It might be able to put a helicopter there too. That's a possibility. Okay, and then the helicopter gets to go. The Ruski helicopter gets a 1, so he has to retreat 1 hex. So he's retreated there. I don't know whether they retreat 2 or 1. I'm going to say they retreat 1. He cannot involve himself in this battle. He just is basically sitting in that hex. Okay, now the U.S. player gets to go, and they're going to start with the hovercraft. They get an 8, so that takes out the bomber. Battle is over. And we can liberate the city, so we get a card for that. Okay, down here. But I think if these guys are actually moved back, they can still move back into that for the rest of the turn. Actually, let's unliberate the city. Actually, well, wait. We should probably liberate the cities at the very end. Okay. Let's start with the helicopter. The Ruski helicopter gets a 1. So see, this could be a situation where he could move into here. I think the defender is actually the one that moves it when they retreat. So I'm going to say he can. This is going to be another one of those ignore this card. Let me know in the rules down below how you would play this situation. So I don't know if the attacker, let's see here. We got a rules thing here. Combat resolution. Doesn't say first movement, declare battles, combat. Anyway, I'm not seeing it. Okay, sorry about taking up your time there, but I'm going to let him do it. I'm just going to let him move back there, and we are going to say that is not... We'll just reoccupy that. Okay. Now then, this guy can go, and 4 doesn't do anything. Okay, then the bombers go. 1, that puts the bomber back. 8, that takes him out, so he's destroyed. Okay, now this definitely is a liberated city, and we can delete and delete. Okay. And then nothing down here. Nope, nothing I want to do. So, okay, that's the end of the USA combat. That's the end of the second movement. We get to go... I'm going to move here. And here, those guys are going to stay put. I'm going to move this. Oh, he's retreated, so he can't go back. But I'll say in Philly, Buffalo, I think I'll keep. New York, I want to move a guy into and move him into here with the helicopters. Buffalo will move in. Okay. Oh, and then we need to move in here, here, and here. Okay, I think that's the USA second movement, capture territories, and this is where I should do the liberation, I guess. That's probably better. And then reinforcements. Western reinforcements. Doop. Okay. We'll move that there. Let's move back to the invaders. And thanks for bearing with me on that. Like I say, I don't know. Okay. Western invaders. We'll start with the Western guys. I think I want copters in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to go for mobility here. I need guys here and here, 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 and then down here. Okay. There's my reinforcements. We'll declare battles. Get my markers. We're going to use a helicopter to kind of isolate these guys. And we want here, here, and here. And here. I think that's it. Okay. Like I said, we're going to try to hurry up a little bit here. And then we got our first movement. And I'm going to move this guy into here. Move this guy here. And these two here. Here I'm going to move him here. Him here. Him here. Here I'm going to move him here and here. He's going to move here, 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 here. Going to move a bomber in here. No, I'm not. I'm not going to do that because he gets to fight back, and that's an easy way to destroy my bomber. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He can come up there. Okay. Los Angeles here, 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 and here. Here, 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 and here. And we'll hope that, I'm going to keep that guy there. If I can keep these regions, now the nice thing about keeping somebody garrisoned in the region is that it prevents a partisan card from knocking somebody out there. And the partisans can wreak havoc. So, okay, first movement done. Combat. Okay, we start with the combat. I didn't put a combat marker there. I did intend combat to be, and I didn't put one there. Okay, let's start here. This combat marker is, it's going to be a mobile infantry, and he's got a 2, so he doesn't do anything. The bomber gets a 9, so that takes him out. Okay. He's here, he's here. Let's start with these 2 bombers and a 1 guy here. He gets a 5, and he uses combined arms, so he can destroy him. And then we do 2 bombers, 1 and 2. So 1 bomber goes here, another bomber has to go here back to Portland. Okay, no other battles that are done. Okay, combat's done. Second movement. That's the thing. One thing I don't like is when you hit that second movement, it eliminates your markers, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But we'll move in, and let's bring the markers back. I knew there's a reason I don't like it, and that's why. It's probably, yeah, if it would have left the markers alone and I could turn them afterwards, it'd work a little better, but Let's see, am I still invaders? Yeah. And these guys can move in now. I'll keep this guy here. And then these guys got... Okay, there we go. Now I've got everybody moving in. I've kept them open. Again, I'm a little concerned because these areas, like this, particularly this mining area, could get easily invaded by partisans. But at least I'll get the cities, at least keep the city's garrison for now will help. So, okay, and then second movement, supply check. Everybody's in supply. And capture territories. Okay, and that's where you would actually do that. But I'm going to do that. Oh, I forgot this guy over here. He is... Oh, okay, I got Philly, right, fixed. Okay. Now we go to the southern guy. And southern guy gets... 3, 4... Okay, 8 and... Like I said, I think I'm going to put some trashy infantry up right now, and then I'll bring in some more powerful ones as I get towards Memphis. Okay, Southern Invader reinforcements are in. We declare battles. Well, we are going to try to take... We'll take Oklahoma here. And then we're going to take... Oops. Delete that. Come on, bring me back a battle marker. I wish they could flip. Another thing is, if you could flip these back and forth, it'd be nice. Okay, there's Oklahoma. We're going to take... Dallas looks pretty... I think we can take Dallas. I've got enough bombers. And we'll take that. And everybody else, I'm going to just make a shift there. I'm going to let yellow take the Southern Rockies. They can take Arizona, New Mexico. And then I'll move these guys out. Okay, battle here, battle here, battle here. Everybody else is good. Okay, we go to our first movement. Let's move bombers. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we're going to attack... here. Actually, these guys are going to attack New Orleans. And then these guys are going to attack Dallas. Move this guy to the border. These 3 guys to the border. And this guy to the border. This guy. 2. Okay. There we go. We've kind of set everybody up, and then we can have our combat. Oh, and this guy's on combat there. Okay. So we are going to start with the battle for Dallas, and we start with the bomber. Dallas has a bomber, and they're going to get a 10. So they get to destroy 1 unit, and I think the unit I wanted to actually destroy in this is this infantry, Reason being is it'll keep the Southern guys from being able to make a combined arms attack. So it's a little thing. Okay, that guy's done his thing. Now we've got the mobile infantry. Gets a 5, so he can choose he's going to choose another hover tank. We've got the partisans with a 1, so the partisan moves out. And then we have the regular infantry with a 5, so they get to destroy this guy. Okay, that wasn't great for the Southern guys. They lost quite a few. Okay, now the bombers go. There's 3 bombers attacking with a 10. Obviously, we want to take out that bomber. With a 2 and with a 8. We'll take out that mobile infantry. Finally, the hover tank goes. Gets a 7, takes him out. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it just to show. Okay, Battle of New Orleans in 1814. Took a little trip. We've got a bomber, a U.S. bomber with a 6, so they can take out, we're going to take out a bomber. And then I've got mobile infantry with 3, nothing. I've got 2 partisans, 1 and 2. Okay, so 1 partisan has to flee. And then finally an infantry fights. And he gets 4, so nothing. Okay, now the Southern can go. First the bombers, there's 2 of them. So 1 and 2, and they need 5 or better. So they do. Well, we got 1. Okay, then the helicopter, it can go. With a 1, that moves the helicopter. He is not able to move any further that turn. Hover tank gets a 6, and that's going to take out him. And then I finally got a mobile infantry and a regular infantry. Mobile infantry with a 5. We're still on, we still have combined arms, so going to take out the partisan. And finally a regular infantry with a 6. Okay, lucked out. And we can flip it. Okay. And that takes us to the second movement. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to hit that button up there. I'm just going to move everybody. Let's say these guys are going to stay put. And I'm going to move these guys into place. Him here. Him here. Hover tank into Dallas. Him here. 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 Here, here. Okay, and then these guys come up to San Antonio. Okay, and then this guy, I think he can move. I can't remember whether he was on the border or not. Actually, I think he was on the border, so yeah, we'll put him there. He can watch the rear grand. Okay, that's it. We've got second movement we've done. And supply check. Everybody's in supply. Capture territories. Territories have been captured. Oh, we got to occupy New Orleans. Remember to occupy Houston. Remember to occupy Dallas. And reinforcements for the east. Okay, eastern reinforcements. Just a brutal battle against D.C. That's all that's going on there. And reinforcements. What are we going to use? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Because I can move these up and then attack, and then I got 3 more coming in. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, now we need to get some battles figured out. He looks like easy pickings. Obviously, we want to try Tampa again. And this guy looks like he might be easy pickings too. We're just going to get some stray units out that are running around, try to see if we can take those out. And then we'll try DC. Okay. Let's start with, then we go to our movement. Declare battles we've done. First movement, we want to move these guys in. And these guys up here. There we go. So we have combined arms. These guys will be attacking there. He can't move anywhere, and I'm not really willing to... that could threaten supply lines, so we're going to leave him be. These guys are going to be fighting along here. Before I do that, I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to battle here. Oh, no, I can't. I'm not going to battle there. Reason I was going to do that was I could try to see if I could surround him, but he can still fall back on Atlanta, so no, we'll use the helicopter there. These guys are here. This guy can come in. And then these guys are fighting all down in Tampa. Or Miami, sorry. Okay, let's start with Miami. Miami has a bomber. Gets a 1, so he's got to fly up here. And then the sole infantry down there can fight with a 2, nothing, okay. Then we fight with 2 helicopters. This should do it. 1. Here we go. We'll flip it. Okay. Now here we've got a helicopter. Oh, this guy's a helicopter fighting. The U.S. helicopter's fighting back with a 4, nothing. Okay, and then the Ruski helicopter with a 4. The 2 Ruski hover tanks, 1, 2. So the 7 did it. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and flip that. And then over here, let's do this battle. So we've got the infantry up here in like Pennsylvania area. I guess that's Virginia. That'd be Virginia, West Virginia, up in the Alleghenies. Okay, this guy's going to fight, and he gets a D6. Gets 4, misses. Okay, here we've got these 2. They're not combined arms. So we need a 6 or better, and a 7. That's enough to destroy him. And then we're going to go do the fight for DC again. DC just keeps going back and forth. Actually, he was... I'm not sure where that... Oh, that's that guy that we had all the problems with. I'm going to move him into Philly, just keep it straight. Okay, we start with the bomber, the U.S. bomber. 2, nothing. Okay, then the U.S. helicopter. A 1. Okay, he gets to move out. Now, he can still move out. This is, again, the same situation. He can still move out, and that means that this territory is not taken. Okay, then the hovercraft, hoverbike, 5. So that's enough for him to take out another hovercraft. And then finally the infantry with a 5. And that's can take out this guy. He probably should have taken out a hovercraft, but that's okay. Hover tank. Okay, now DC is going to fall. 2 bombers. 1 and 2. 8 and 1. So we're going to take out him with the 8. We're going to move him back with the 1. And now 3 3 helicopters. 2 helicopters. 1 and 2. And the 7's enough to take out him. And then 3 hover tanks. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's 7 will do it. And this guy can't move. And I think was there 3 ones? We'll just put those guys back here. And that ends that battle. Okay. Okay, second movement. We're going to move him in. And we're going to flip this. And we're going to occupy this. This one I can delete because this guy moved back into that territory. Keep him there. Keep him there. This guy can move in. Oh, the retreating guy. Now, if they lose on the retreating guy, I think the retreating guy is destroyed. So I think that's what happens, if I remember the rules right. Those guys will move in. And then these guys can all move 1, 2, 2, and occupy. Okay, let's go through and make sure everybody's in supply and they've occupied the cities, and I need a duplicate there. I think we got it all. Okay. It's looking bad for Atlanta. I think if I can put some helicopters here in the next turn, I can leave Atlanta cut off, which would make it easy, and that would give me most of the South. Okay. We go to the U.S. turn. I can pop right through all these captured territories and reinforcements. Okay. Got a reinforcement there. These we don't worry about because those were wrong. And that's all. So, okay, I'm going to go through my reinforcement cards. Oh, first of all, I need another laser. I'll put another laser in. We'll put the laser in Milwaukee. These guys, it's quite a ways. The upper Midwest and Plain states are going to be the last holdouts. Okay. Reinforcements. Let's start with this reinforcement. Farm machinery converted in Minneapolis. I need 2 mobile infantry and a helicopter. Well, I've got a helicopter. Got 2 mobile infantry. Hopefully I don't drag too many. Okay, then we go to our partisan cards. Partisans revolt in Western Sector territory. Well, that's exactly what we needed. So without a guy there, I can take that. We're going to make things miserable for these guys. We are going to put 2 partisans. What is it? 2 partisans, a tank, and a helicopter. Ouch. 2 partisans. A hover tank. And a helicopter. No helicopter. Okay. Now, I think I can do this, even though those are occupied. There's nobody there. I think I can put those guys in. No. Can I do that? If they're not garrisoned, I can't. I don't think I can do that. I don't think you can just move into it. Even though I've claimed those territories, I think I have to. I think a helicopter could take them, but I don't think anybody else could. So if I would have had a helicopter here, I could have taken that. Oh well. Survivalist partisan bands close mountain passes in Rocky Mountain sector. So 2 more partisans and another hover tank that, yeah. 1. It says 1 sector. So 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, I'll come up here. Again, this will protect Denver. Okay, USA declares battles. I'm planning on moving these guys out. These guys are going to stay put. This guy's going to... I think I'll move him back. I need some more helicopters. Okay, that's all I'm going to do there. Things are looking pretty grim in the south. Things are looking pretty grim down here. Markers. Gonna battle here. DC's looking. Might be able to take Pittsburgh. Or Philly. 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 That's what I meant. Okay, so I'm going to take Philly. And I'm going to fight back down here in the deep south, down in, around Mobile, Pensacola. Okay. So we're going to put our aircraft guy here. Oops, our first movement. Gonna do a first. We're gonna make a first movement attack of this area with the helicopter. Oh, the U.S. doesn't have to do that. They don't have to battle. They just have to put one there. They can't move, but they can do their thing. So, and that leaves. Oh, he's still got that guy there. Never mind. Never mind. I thought I'd cut him off, but he's still got Upper Florida there. Okay, then. Here, and these guys are going to be fighting here. I think I got quite a few troops. Let's move him in. We'll move him in and then move him out. I think I can move him in and move him out. Okay. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. Okay. And this is turn 3. I should have 3. I do have 3 lasers. Fire lasers. Okay, where do I want to fire? And well, I think we'll fire here at this guy. Actually, I'm gonna do bombers. Let's take out this. We're gonna do this bomber and this bomber with those. Okay, first D10 is a 3, misses. A 8, so that'll be this guy. And I've got one more. Going to take out one down here in Dallas. Got a 7, so it does it. Okay, and then our... I forgot my first movement for these guys. That's okay. We do our combats. Okay, down here. We start with a helicopter and a hover tank, so 2 8s. First one's an 8, and a helicopter can take out the bomber. The helicopter, and then the hover tank is going to go with a 4, misses. Okay, then these guys from Atlanta are going to go with the 2 helicopters. 1, 2, and then the hover tank. 2, and then finally the infantry. 2, nothing. Okay, so. And then we're up here with against Philly, and we have 2 helicopters. 1, 2, neither hit. Okay, then the U.S. goes with a 4, misses with the bomber. Got a helicopter with a 4. Got a hover tank with a 6. Okay, that can take a helicopter out. Got a mobile infantry with a 6, and that destroys them. Okay, and that ends the battles. We go to second movement. Move in. Gonna move him back to Pittsburgh. 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, we'll move him back to Pittsburgh. Okay, down here, these guys are going to stay put. Mr. Memphis is going to move a helicopter. Let's see, no, 1, 2, he can't, really. 1, and then 2, 1, 1, 1, and then back in the west. These partisans by themselves are really probably better off by themselves. I'm going to move here 1 and 1. And we're going to move back here, here, and here. There. Actually, no, I'm going to move this other partisan up here and let them fight by themselves. And that's second movement. Capture territories. Let's go ahead and do that. These guys are okay. But Philly. Delete. And we are going to liberate it and gives us a card for the next turn. And I think that's the end of the turn 3. Yep, turn 4. Okay, another coffee break. Okay, turn 4. And we'll start with the Western Invader reinforcements. Things are starting to grind down here a little bit. I've got these guys set up already. Let me see, where am I going to put them? I think I still want to put them closest to Salt Lake City if I can. I want some mobility here. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's these 4 will go here and here and here. Okay, and I think I'll leave, like I said, I think I'll leave these slow-moving pieces till later and then start to bring them in. So we need to figure out where we're going to fight. Again, I've got these guys kind of bunched up, so they can't go anywhere. I think we'll go here. And I need some markers. I think we'll go here. We're going to try to move a little faster. And well, that's not maybe the place to go. I need a second guy there to keep it going. I guess we'll go there and here. And those are the only 2 I can make. We will battle here and here and here and here. I think we'll try to get some guys. Actually, I think we'll do here. Taking advantage of this guy here. Okay, that's enough. I think, yeah, and then I think we can probably, once we get one of these guys down, we can take Salt Lake City. Okay, so we're going to start with this guy here. Oops. Declare battles. We've done that. Okay, now we go to first movement. 2, 3. And then I'll move 2 of these guys down here. This guy here. He can't go anywhere. I'll stay put there. This guy can go in here. And then we can start moving these guys in. Okay. Now, first movement, now we can combat, and this guy gets a D8. He gets a 7, so he gets to take out this guy. Okay, then these guys can go. We got 2 10s. A 9. Okay, that's enough. And that's going to flip that. Okay, right here I have another 8. Gets a 6, so he can take out this guy. And then I've got 2 8s. 7. Okay, that's enough. Oops. Okay, and then here we just move into it, so that's just, let's see, those are flipped. Okay, that's combat was fast this time. Second movement, and in this case, I'm going to move here. I'm going to move, this guy can't move, and here, and here. And these guys will move back. And here, here, and here. And then these guys are going to go pouring across. Oh, I forgot to fight down there. Oh, well. There. I think I'll stay put there. Oh, I forgot that guy. Okay. We'll move him here. Then he'll be within range of striking Salt Lake City in the next turn. Okay, and that, I think, ends Yellow's turn. Supply check. Again, I'm playing it fairly conservative here. And Western capture territories we've done, and then reinforcements. Okay. For Southern. Okay, now the Southern guys get to go. And again, I just really want to pour everything into, whoops, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, reinforcements are in. Now we'll declare our battles. At this point, I think I'll move here into the Sangres. Continue to move toward Denver. Okay, there's all my battles, and so these guys are going to go for that. These guys are going to go here. There. This guy will stay put. Going to battle here. And then we'll battle here. Okay. Pretty easy, so first movement, 2. I guess I've been already doing movement here. Okay, and we go to combat. Okay, combat. So let's start here. This one's an automatic. Here, it's going to be a partisan. Gets a 2, and then these 2 helicopters go. And a 3, and then finally a hover bike goes and gets a 1. Moves him back. So they weren't able to take that. Okay. We're going to say this place goes. I'm just going to let them go. And then we go here, and a helicopter gets a 5. They're defending, so they can use... that counts. So they're going to take out a bomber. That kind of hurts. Now the bomber gets to go, and that's going to get rid of the helicopter. Okay, and then here. That should help us surround places. Okay, now then we go to our second movement. And going to move into this square. This guy's going to go. This guy will go. This guy will go. And this guy will go. I forget if there was... I think there was one guy there. We'll just put the one guy there. Okay. Now, I don't remember if bombers have to be... They may have to be based out of cities. I don't remember that. Let's see if there's anything right here. Flying units. Friendly territories. Okay, so it says just friendly territories there. Okay. Second movement, supply check. Everybody's in supply. Capture territories, I've done. Oh, these guys. I forget there was a... I think that was about what we had. Okay. I don't quite remember what was there, but we'll say that was pretty close. And Eastern Invader reinforcements. And back to the east. I got my Eastern Invaders. And where do they need him? I need him... I need at least one here. And I'm needing 2, 3... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there's my 8. We go to declaring battles. I think I can take these guys. Let's see here. Markers. Okay, I can't isolate them. I think I will go ahead and take Great Smoky Mountains. And I will take here and here. I think that's enough. Okay. And then we make our moves. First movement. Okay. So we got a helicopter moving in here. And a helicopter moving in here. And then I'll move. Now he can fight from this position. That guy's going to go to the border. There's this guy. And we'll put a helicopter here. This guy up here. And then over here, I've got this guy. And these two guys are on the border. I can bring these guys in. Okay, so those guys, I've got all that mobile infantry going, and there and there. Okay, they've got enough to make a combined attack. It's in a mountain zone, so I think I got everybody. First movement, combat. Let's go ahead and do our combats. Okay, this is going to be the crucial one, and I've got 2 infantry, and they need a 5 or better. 1, 2. Okay, they miss. Okay, now the bomber gets to go. Gets a 7. That takes out 1. Then we've got 3 hover tanks. 1. They're combined arms. Yep, they're combined arms, so that's it for that guy. Actually, should have used that guy, but that's okay. And I'm going to flip it. Okay, then we've got here, and I'm gonna flip that, and we'll move that guy in the next phase. And then I've got Atlanta. Now this should take out Atlanta, but first of all, let's see. We got Atlanta's fighting back with 2 helicopters, 1 and 2. They got a 1. Now they don't have anywhere to go, so they're destroyed. Okay, then there's a hover tank. Hover tank gets a 6, so we're gonna destroy. Oh, I can take another. I'm gonna take this hover tank out here. And then infantry, U.S. infantry gets a 6, so they can take out this other infantry. And that takes care of the Euro-Socialist Pact's infantry down here. So we've got these 2 helicopters. I got 3 helicopters and a hover bike. Let's start with the 3 helicopters. 1, that's a hit. 2, that's a hit. And a 1. Okay, so they have to, this guy's pulled back. So 2 are taken out. Oh, wait, that's a helicopter. And then I've got the hover bike here. I call it the hover bike. A 3, so nothing. So Atlanta stands. We can flip this. Let's see, any other battles? Nope. Okay. Second movement. We'll move him into place. Him into place. I'll stay put there. Going to move one guy up here and these 2 in. I'm going to move this guy up here. This guy moves into the mountains. This guy's going to move in and here. Going to move here, here. That guy can't go anywhere. Here and here. And that, I think, is going to be Red's turn. So we go to supply check. Everybody's in supply. We flip. That's done. And we go to USA reinforcements. Okay, here's things getting interesting. First of all, clear weather improves accuracy of lasers. All lasers hit on a 3 or better. Ouch. Okay. We get one more laser too. We're going to put it in Chicago. And I've got 4 lasers now. These lasers are they're gonna take a toll this time. Let's see. Next, gotta check these 2 partisan cards. Eagle's Nest. The Center for National American Underground is established in 1 Eastern Sector Mountain Territory. Oof. 4 partisans and a tank. Okay. Let's pull 4 partisans. Pull 4 partisans and a hover tank. And they can go into any mountain territory. I think Pittsburgh is going to be where I want to put these guys. Hold on. Does it say any one? Any 1 Eastern Sector. Okay, I said Pittsburgh, but we're going to have to go here in that, down here, because I'll surpass my the stacking. Okay, what was the second one? Partisan Legions of Liberty destroy invaders' barracks in nighttime raid. Destroy up to 2 invading units in the same territory. Okay. Well, I think I can do that anywhere. I think I'll do these 2 here. That may give me a little bit of space in Atlanta. Not much, but a little bit. Okay. And that's it for reinforcements. We go to declared battles, and yeah, I think I can take that. I think I can take out that helicopter. Nobody down here. Need to try to cut him off from Memphis, so we'll try that. Or we could try this. That would mean 4 hits. There's 3 there. We'll go with those guys. Anything out here? Yeah. Right there. Okay. First movement. First movement, I'm going to stay in Salt Lake City. Going to move these 2 guys down here. Move my helicopter here. And then this guy, 1, 2, 3. These guys are waiting for an attack. I'm going to put 1 more attack here in DC. We're going to try DC attack again. Let me just put that in. That's not kosher, but since I'm just doing it solo, I'm trying to play all sides fairly fair here, and we'll make these guys attack down here. Okay. There's my attacks. Now we're going to go fire lasers, and I've got 4 lasers this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lasers are going to go, we're going to go here. I think anywhere I'm making an attack, I'm going to try to bring things down. So let's try against this hovercraft. 6, okay, that's a destroy. Second one down here. And I'm going to go against this guy. 6, that gets rid of him. This is going to be 3 right there, and that's going to destroy him. And I get 1 more. I always try to hit a bomber. This looks like the most desperate one. And a 9. Okay, man, I had high rolls for that. Okay. So pretty good. Okay, now we do our combat. Now I've already combated here, and I'm going to move into that territory. I don't know why I'm doing that. That's just cutting me off. Oh, well. For some reason, I thought I could take off San Diego and Phoenix, but they're connected down there. Okay. Okie doke. I forgot to move these guys. Oh, well. And also, I just realized this whole area, St. Louis to Oklahoma, is one area. I thought there was a marker there, but there's not. I'm just going to have to move these guys back somehow to fix this, because, like I say, I didn't realize, man, you can go from almost Amarillo to St. Louis. That's a weird, there needs to be something there, but okay. Let's say that's going to be a delete and a delete, because they're automatically going to get there. And then we have any battles out here? Nope. Okay. Okay, we're battling here, and I've got a mechanized with a 1, so he's pushed back, and then infantry with a 2, nothing. Okay, then 2 helicopters, 1, that doesn't count because they're not combined. 2 and 8 does, and we'll take those out after the move. Okay, here we're battling with a helicopter with a 6, so he takes out this guy, and then they're up against 4 Patreons, partisans, Patreons. They're supporting their channel. 2, and that's enough. So and then here I've got we start with the hover tank with a 1, so he has to move out. I've got the mech with a 6. He can take out another mech, and I've got 2 infantry. They don't do anything. Okay, bomber attacks with a 9. And then I've got a helicopter with a 2, mech with a 1, and finally a Patreon infantry with a 2. So nothing there. Okay, that's combat. We go to second movement, and he has to move out. This guy will move into Pittsburgh. We'll have a partisan move. Okay, he can go here and here. And then these guys, I guess they're going to have to fight their way down. There's no other way around. I guess this is one area here. Actually, I think this is an error. Look at this. You can go from Wisconsin to Amarillo, and it's technically, I think the rivers, well, no, the rivers do count as borders. Okay. And actually, those guys would be fine because it looks like the Arkansas River is in the way here. I'm from Kansas, so we call this the Arkansas, but that would be a boundary. So those guys were fine there. Now they can't move down into the Boston Mountains, but they can move. We'll stay here. There, I'll move one guy there because I want to defend St. Louis. Okay, and then we're going to move one guy here, and I think that's it. Oh yeah, this is gone, and this guy's cut off. So in a turn, if he isn't able to in next turn, if they're not able to fight their way out with those guys, he's going to be destroyed. Okay, that's the second movement. Capture territories, they've been captured. And Western reinforcements. Okay, so we're on turn 5. Things are starting to come down here. Western invader. Gonna 2, 3, 4. like I said, I want to hit Salt Lake City. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, that's it for turn. Now we can go to, where are we going to declare battle? There's not really any reason to move north here, other than I could try to get to Minneapolis, St. Paul. But I see what I can do here. We can go 1. Oops. Declare battles. I'm sorry. Let's see. Markers. Here. Yeah, we're going to cut off. We're going to try to cut off Salt Lake City. That should take care of Salt Lake City. We are going to duplicate. I'm going to put all my firepower on Salt Lake City here. I might try to put these guys down. And I think I'll put this guy down for a battle marker here. Okay, so I'm going to fight here to here. I'm going to fight these two to here. And then I'm going to send, everybody else into Salt Lake City. I forgot the most important part. There. Okay, and then this guy moves in. So he just has to stand there. Here and here. And then these guys can move. I guess I need to declare. I've declared battles. Okay, I cheated over here, but that's okay. Let's see. Okay, everybody is involved. Okay, the big battle for Salt Lake City is going to be, we're going to start with hover tanks, and there's 3 of them. Okay, the U.S. has 3 hover tanks. There's 1, 2, and 3. So they had 2 hits, and I'm going to destroy. Now, hover tanks can just double check foot or mech. So I've got to destroy the 2 mech units. I think I'll destroy 1 here. Oops, he's not involved in the battle. Oh well, we'll move here and here. Okay. Now comes the attack. Now we're going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bombers. And I need a 6 or better. 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's actually, that was 3. That was our 3. So destroy, destroy, destroy. And we can flip that. And then we had these 2 against this lone partisan. So the partisan goes first and gets a 4. And then we have an 8, dire 8, which an 8 will destroy the partisan. And then down here, I've got 2 hover tanks. 4 and a 7, so he can destroy a hover tank. And these guys are combined arms, so we'll start with 2 helicopters. And a 5 will do fine for that. And here's number 2. A 1, okay. That forces him to, he's not involved. And Then I've got a Mech 6, okay, and that takes him out. And we can flip that, so there's first movement, combat, whoops. Second movement. Okay, now we can move into these areas. So our helicopter is going to move in. He's 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 going to move in. Going to move in here and here. Here, 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 and then here and here. Actually, I think I moved those infantry already. Okay. There we go. I think I got them all moved right. We'll see. Never seen West do quite this well, but they're being pretty overwhelming. They should have Denver in the next turn. Okay. Oh, I need to not deploy laser. Let's move this to invaders. Occupy. Okay, let me do a quick count here. Oh, this guy's occupied. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's 7. Down here I have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, I need 3 more to win. 3 more to win it. Any supply? No supply issues. They're keeping it together pretty well. And then we go to reinforcements for blue. Now blue has some issues. Let's see. 1, 4, 5. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Like I say, most of my videos, I don't necessarily play well. One guy said a few weeks ago, you just butcher the rules. I'm like, I'm sorry. I try not to, but again, when you're playing if you're playing with a second person, it's a lot easier because you can monitor each other on rules. When you're playing by yourself, you forget stuff. And like I always say, I'm trying to do this as a single take instead of going through and editing the rules. I really spend a lot of time editing the background and when I present the rules, but actually playing the playthroughs, I don't do a lot of editing on it. So, okay, it's just too much. I mean, it's just too much work. It's like I said, these things take about 40 hours to make each one, and so it's a full-time job every week putting one out, and it would be another 5 or 6 hours to edit a playthrough, which is just it doesn't become fun anymore. We're going to go against them, and we've really got to keep these two here. I've got to get those guys taken care of. Duplicate that. Don't see a lot of other places. I guess I could try to take out these guys here. I think I'll do that. I'll put those two guys out. And there we go. Okay, time to make, that's reinforcements. I've declared my battles. And we get through the first movement. And all these guys are going to be going against the Mississippi here. I think we'll move let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That'll give me combined arms. These guys can do Dallas, and this guy can fly in. This guy's going to move. These two are going to move against this guy. Might move this guy south again. And there, that'll give me combined arms. This will give me combined arms. Got to watch stacking here. Okay, I think I got everybody moved that can so far. A lot of infantry that can't do much, but that's okay. We'll start with this little battle over here in southern Arizona. And going to start with the partisan. He's by himself, so he gets to 8. Oh, and he hits. And he's going to take this guy out of Phoenix. Now, Phoenix won't resort back yet, unless I move him guy in. And I think this guy will get wiped out here pretty quick. So, okay, now I've got 2 hover tanks, 1 and 2. Nope, and then a helicopter. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to flip it. I'll just have to remember, guys, actually, I'm going to have to remember that this helicopter has to move in there. I'll just try to do that. Okay, up here I've got another partisan, an 8, and he's going to take out this guy. And then I've got a helicopter with a 6, and that's enough. We'll flip it. I know I flipped those kind of prematurely, but that's okay. Okay, then I'm going to have to fight. Let me see if I can win back southern Mississippi here. I've got a U.S. helicopter with a 3 and a partisan, and partisan's not by himself, so he just has to use a 6, and he gets a 1, so he has to move back. That's not good for the helicopter. Okay, now I've got a helicopter and 2 hover tanks, so 1, and that's enough. And we will flip it, and then down here I've got a helicopter and a partisan, so we'll start with the helicopter. With an 8, he can take out that bomber. And the partisan with a 5 is enough to take out a... I think it's going to take out that hover tank because there's no infantry units. Okay, now we've got just 2 helicopters up against him. 1, okay, that takes out him, and then 1 more helicopter with an 8. Okay, that takes him out, so flip. So I need to make sure somebody goes into this zone, and this zone. So there's my second movement. Okay, Southern Invader combat we've done. Southern Invader second movement. So we're going to move him into here. I'm going to move him here and here and 1, 2 here and here, and then here, 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 he's got to move in here, and then these 2 are going to move in here. Oh, I forgot to move these guys. Okay. I guess 2, they can move here, here. I think I'll move here, here, and here. Okay. Don't know if that would have made a huge difference. That would get me maybe a little closer to Memphis. I think right now I'm looking at Memphis and St. Louis being endangered, and Denver. Okay. And that would be there's the southern one. Okay, going to the supply check. Everybody is in supply. including, yep, that guy's in supply. Okay. Now, if I had a helicopter, I could move in here and threaten him, but that's okay. Okay, next we go to the invader capture territories, and finally invader eastern reinforcements. Okay, this is, like I said, this is where the eastern guy has to do a lot. Again, Atlanta is going to be the one I want to try to take. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And somehow my count got off. That should have come out nice and even, but it didn't. Okay. Now, getting to figure out where I'm going to fight. I could push hard to try to get Pittsburgh. I think that's going to be one. I think taking Atlanta is going to be important. And I think other than that, I could try Philadelphia. Let's try it. If I could take these 3, I think I can end it. So we will start with our movements. Oh, and then I get another laser. Or no, I don't get a laser. I'm an eastern guy. Okay, that was my reinforcements. Now I declare my battles. I've done that. And then we're going to do our first movement. 1, 2, 3. Here. He can fight from here fine. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, these 3 here. Okay, so Atlanta is surrounded. And let's do the Battle of Atlanta here. This time they've got a single 6, does nothing, and this should be it. So now we've got 4 helicopters. 1, and that's it. Okay. And we will flip that just to show that it's flipped. Okay, right here I've got a helicopter and a partisan. So we're going to start with the helicopter. Oops, 8. Gets an 8, so he can take care of that bomber. And then the partisan goes and gets a 1, so the partisan moves back. Okay, and then the Ruskies go, and they get an 8 for the hover bike with a 3 and a 1. Oh, okay, they were not able to take Pittsburgh. Oh, he has to move here. Okay, and then for Philly, bomber gets to go first with a 6. I can take out the hover bike. The helicopter with a 5, and that's enough to take out him. And then the infantry with a 2 does nothing. Okay. Now I've got 3 to go. Okay, first of all, we'll start with the... and they need a 6 or better? Nope. So this guy gets a... He's... Can't do anything. That's fine. And then a 6... Take care of him, and a 5. Nothing there. Could have done better if we would have the combined arms, but that didn't do it. Okay. Is that it? That's it. Okay, now we go to our combat. We've done combat, and we do our second movement. Second movement is going to be moving these guys into Atlanta. Helicopter, helicopter. Here, here. Oops, we're not going to move in there because I want space for this guy. Here, here, and here. Okay. And that's it. I think I needed 18 cities. I think I've got one. Oops. Occupy 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 4 more cities. I need 4 more cities. I think. Okay. Well, that's close. I know I don't have enough. I need 18. So this puts us on the U.S. And Eastern Invader reinforcements. Okay. Now, they did have a card, I thought. Nope, they did not have a card. They didn't retake a territory. So we used to have 2 partisan cards. Army veterans rally together adjacent to St. Louis. 4 infantry in St. Louis. And that would, not adjacent to St. Louis. I guess that's adjacent to St. Louis. Well, that's the territory. I guess they can go anywhere. Let's just, we'll give the U.S. a break here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then United Arkansas militia overpowered invaders in the Boston Mountains. Retreat all invaders and destroy unretreatable units. 2 partisans and a tank. Okay. Can he retreat? Yeah, he can retreat, and he can retreat. And I'm going to say you delete that, and then we put in 2 partisans and a tank. And here's our tank. And 2 partisans. I never heard of them called the Boston Mountains there, at least proper. I guess the Boston, that is more Arkansas, and Boston's go up here, but that's just a matter of semantics. But and then the Ouachita are down towards more Oklahoma. But it's pretty down there. It's really nice. I used to go down there and fish a lot. Okay, U.S. goes, and we get another laser. Indianapolis. Whoops. I always do that, and then I'm going to liberate it and get a card that I don't need. Okay. But give him a laser. Deploy laser. Okay. At this turn 5, I've got 5 lasers I can fire. I've got to try to get Pittsburgh held. Atlanta's lost. Memphis is lost. St. Louis looks actually pretty good. Denver. I think what I'll do is I'll try to relieve Denver a little bit here. So let's go with 7. That's a take one here, and we'll do it here. 2. Take one here. 3, 4, and let's take that guy out. 5. There we go. Okay, my lasers have all fired. Now I go to my, declare battles. Oh, I didn't do that. I didn't declare my battles first. Okay, I went out of line. I should have declared my battles and moved first, but that's okay. I will say that. Can do nothing there. I can fight here, and I'm gonna try to fight here. Okay, with these partisans. That's about all I can do. Okay, so this guy, and this guy are going to fight over here. I'm going to move into Memphis. This guy can move into Memphis. And I can move my bomber down. I can move this guy here, here, and that guy into Philly, and then this guy, oh, he's going to stay on the border there. So we're going to have to bring him in a little bit. Okay. Let's start here with these guys, these two. A 5 and a 5. So those both hit, and he can go here, and I can destroy this guy. Okay, then I have 1, which gives a 1, and that moves him out of combat, and then this guy can still fight. And he's got a 6, so he takes out this guy. Well, St. Louis holds on another turn. Okay. No other fights here, and then down here. First of all, this guy's going to fight back with a 3 and a 4, so neither of those do it. Okay. And I should have used a red one. Okay, then when the bomber goes with a 10, takes out him. I've got the helicopter with a 5. They're not combined arms, so that doesn't count. And then 3 partisans. 1, 2, and 3. So nothing there. Okay, that was a waste of time. Those battles didn't do much. Okay, first movement we've done. Fire lasers we did, and then U.S. combat we've done. Second movement, I'm going to move this guy in from New York City. This guy's going to come down from Cleveland. This guy will go back. And we'll move him into Memphis. And these guys will hold St. Louis. I think I'll move this guy here and this guy here. Again, we're going to try to defend St. Louis. Okay, that's second movement. We've captured our territories. There's none to capture. Brings us to Western reinforcements. There shouldn't be any, but, you know, there is. So we're going to... The reality of the situation. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I was off by 1. Okay. And we go to our declaring battles. At this point, I know we're going to battle here and here. Whoops, I can't battle there. I can't. We're going to go here and here with helicopters. The hardest part's going to be getting everybody moved in. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the bombers on Denver. Make it easy, and then I can move blue in if I need to. So we'll use that for bombing Denver. No more? Nope. Okay, first movement. First movement, helicopter here. Helicopter here. And these two are going to fight here. He's going to move here. Okay, I think everybody's moved. I don't forget if that helicopter moved or not. I think he did, so, okay. So we're gonna have 3 battles here. Let's start with Denver. I got Partisan. He's by himself, so he uses a D8 and a 3. He misses, and then I've got 5 bombers. 1, 2, 3, and that's enough. Okay, there's destroyed. But I can't claim the territory, so we're going to just have to delete that. Now here, I've got a helicopter, which I'm going to use first, and he gets an 8, so he can delete that bomber. And I've got a partisan using a 6, and he gets a 3. Doesn't succeed. Okay, now this should blast these guys away. We're on combined arms, so we need a 5 or better. And I got 2 helicopters, 1, and that's it. Oh, no. That's 1, and helicopter 2 is a 3. Those guys have moved. Now I've got 3 hovercrafts, hover tanks, 1. Okay, and there's destroyed, and we're going to flip it. And that's all the combat. Flip, and there we go. Okay, I'm looking over everything here. Oh, and then second movement. These guys have got to go somewhere. They'll go back to the San Juans. This guy can't move. This guy can't move. These guys can't move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can go 1, 2. I guess I can move 2 in here. And a helicopter there. This guy moves forward. This guy moves forward then. Like I said, I've got a second wave coming here. I don't think I'm going to need these guys. 2, 3, and 4, and 1. And Los Angeles, or San Francisco has 4. Now, hopefully, if they don't get the right card, we should be good. Now, I haven't gotten Denver. Let's go to, that's Western Invaders, second combat, second movement, supply check, we're good. Capture territories were good, and reinforcements were good. Oh, Southern. We're in Southern, guys. Okay. Southern reinforcements. There should be just enough. 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, good. 6, 7, 8. Good. I timed that out just right. Okay. Now, this would be the turning point for if the U.S. had more people after this turn, at the end of turn 6, that's when the invaders would decide that whether they could continue or not. And they're in really good shape here. I think they can take it in a turn or 2. Although, if the right cards are drawn, it could last a little longer. Okay. So the Southern guys get to go. Southern boys get to go. And first of all, we start with our reinforcements. We declare battles. Going to try to take Denver. I'm going to try to take Southern Kansas and the Boston Mountains. No real reason to take. I can use a bunch of helicopters on Memphis. So we're going to try to take Memphis. And I think I'll go ahead and attack these guys. I think now's the time to be bold. Okay. Let's see. That's quite a few areas here. So we're going to put this guy on the edge of the border. These guys are going to move here. I'm going to move this guy back and this guy forward. Give me a little edge on the die. Move a helicopter here. This guy can move in here. This guy's going to move here. Now I need to bolster my Memphis attack. So we're going to go 2, 2, and there should be a marker here. 2. I can still move here and here. We're going to move into there. Okay. I think that's everybody. So this guy's going to go for the Washitas, and this guy's going to go, these guys are going to go here. And then these guys are going to congregate on Memphis. This guy's going to go up here to battle here. And then these guys are going to close in on Denver. Okay, let's start with Denver first. Actually, there's no reason to even start on this. I shouldn't have even put all these guys here, but I can flip it because they're going to move in. I don't know why I did that. I should have moved them east, but that's okay. I'm going to flip that just in case. But the important things here are this battle here, which has got 2 helicopters, 2 hover tanks, and a infantry. Now, this is not a mountain or a city, so it doesn't. I can use the good results table here. So let's start with the 4 8s. 1 is an 8. 2, 3, and 4, and that's enough. Okay. And I used all these guys. Okay, now I've got to use these. I should have, I don't know, I should have put this attack over here on this, but that's okay. That's going to delay me another turn. That could be kind of a bad thing. Okay, I'm going to go 3. I just realized these guys never had a chance to fight back. Okay, let's pull back here. There we go. Let's redo this battle. These guys never fought back, so. Okay, hover tank. Getting tired. U.S. hover tank goes with an 8, and I'm going to say, at this point, I'm going to say this guy's fighting here, this guy's fighting here, and this guy's fighting here. Okay, we'll keep that. So an 8, a hover tank is going to destroy a hover tank. Okay, then we've got these 2 guys, 1, a 5, and a 2. The 5 is, since they're acting on the column that can use a 5 or better to destroy, they will. And there we go. And then that leaves 1 helicopter to make the attack. And they get an 8, so they can take out the hover tank. Okay, and we can just delete that. Okay, that comes out a little more fair to the Americans there. Okay, now we've got Memphis, the attack on Memphis. And the Memphis guys are going to start out with the mobile infantry, and then the partisan, and then the infantry. So they're all T6s, and I need a 5 or better. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and so one guy has to go. This guy's going to have to retreat. And now we can fight. 3. I have 3 helicopters. 1, 2, 3. They didn't do. Oh, 1 helicopter. So he's back there. He can't move in. And then I've got a hover tank with a 2. Oh, these guys aren't doing much. And this guy's going to fight. He needs a 6 or better. Well, no, they need a 5 or better because this was combined arms and it worked. So he gets a 6. I'm going to take the partisan out. And then 5 or 6. Nope. Okay. Doesn't take Memphis. Okay, then we can go through. Nothing there, nothing there. This guy moves into the Boston Mountains. This guy moves into Kansas. And okay. move a... I want to keep combined arms, so I'm going to keep those 4 and keep him as a thing. And then these 2 are going to move into Denver. These guys will move east. Oh, and I forgot these guys again. Okay. They're just sitting around in Mexico drinking beer and having a fine old time. So, okay, this guy in the Washitas is fairly... he's kind of going to have a hard time, but... Okay, Eastern. I did lose Denver. Okay, Memphis. Memphis is kind of our go-to spot here. These 3, 4. Oops, I need to. First of all, there's Southern. Get through all this. Supply check, cafeteria. Okay, reinforcements and Eastern invaders. I think, and this is where I messed up because look, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So somewhere along the line, the Eastern guys got 4 extra guys. I'm going to put these guys down here. I still think keeping up with the South is going to be good. Okay, and then we go to declare battles. We get our marker. And obviously we want to try to get Memphis. The other thing is I'm getting kind of bottled up down here with the Southern guys. I think the U.S. is pretty much going to lose this one, but you never know. I mean, I've played this game in the past and a couple times where, just like in the movie, the U.S. is really bottled up, and then after the 6th round, they make a hell of a comeback. Particularly those lasers. Those guys are going to be in Memphis, here, and here. I'm going to go ahead and put the guy there. Okay. Can't do much here. I can move into here. Keep a good defensive thing going. So, okay, that's about all I can do is just try to take Memphis. So we can go to first movement, and we go here and here. And then this guy's going to go up here, and then these 3. And this guy's going to move into here. And that's all that I can do for movement. Yeah, the red's almost exhausted itself, but they have a chance to pull it out. Okay, so we start here in Memphis, the Battle of Memphis, and we roll a die, and we get a 4, so that's not enough. And then I'm going to roll 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times on the 8s, and I need 6s or better. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's enough, and that takes out Memphis. And no other. Oh, this battle. 1, 2, 3. I forgot to include. There was one. I guess it was one helicopter up here. So he gets a 5, which is not enough. Okay, delete. Okay, I got all those guys. I was going to use them twice, which I can't do. Okay, second turn, and this guy. Oh yeah, he didn't do anything. So. And this guy could make 1 attack. He could actually attack back. We'll see if he gets 1, so he was pushed back. That's okay. Second turn movement. There's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay. Got to try to keep supply lines open. Okay. And let's see how many I've got. I got 1 city, 2 cities, 3, 4, 5. Oh, and these guys move in. 6. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And that actually would be the game. So now I'm playing this, say, one person against one person, where one person's the invader. So I'm not going to go through that final game victory thing. Basically, what would happen at this point is the U.S. player wouldn't get their turn. And, well, let's just see here. Hold on a sec. U.S. victory wins. Okay. Among them, the invading players may capture 18 cities. If the end of the U.S. player's turn, they still control 8, they win. Okay. Oh, I guess still got the U.S. player gets to go. Okay, so we got one more, and then if they can't recapture any cities, then then the invaders will win. Okay. We've done all those, and it's time for the U.S. reinforcements. Now, that's a... First of all, I get a laser. Okay, I get 6 lasers. So, where am I going to aim them? I think we'll try to aim at all the cities here. So, we're going to go with Washington with a 6, so that destroys 1 here. I'm going to try Atlanta with a 2, nothing, okay. Memphis, this is 3 with an 8. I got 3 more. Where can I go? Here. There's 4. Here's 5. And I guess we'll go here. 6, okay. Then we go with declaring battles. Oh, and then I get my reinforcements from here. Partisan cards. Rebels destroy an invading unit in the southern sector and take control of the same or adjacent territories. Not good in cities. Okay, I get 3 partisans. And I have 1 unit. Is there anybody with 1 unit? Okay. Here, yeah. Destroy. And we get 3 partisans. Whoops. Okay, there's our 3 partisans. And then the second one was National Industrial Production, spearhead in Chicago. We get a helicopter, a tank, and a mobile infantry. Not going to be enough to get us to the front on time. Oh, I need a helicopter. Okay. Now we can declare battles. We really got to try to push for Memphis. That's going to be the one place where we can really stand a chance. Can't make it to DC in time. I think that's the only city that's within 1. So that's where we'll put ourselves. Okay. We're going to battle in Memphis, and then we can do our first move. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can move there. And got to really stay put there. Okay, that's all my first movement. We do our battle, and the helicopters go first. Get a 6 and a 2, so that takes care of the bomber. Then the U.S. helicopter goes with a 2, and then I've got 3, 1, and I got 2 more. 2 and 3, and that's not going to be enough. So Memphis isn't going to fall, and we've done our lasers. We did fire the lasers early again, as I noted. Second movement's not going to matter, so basically game is going to be pretty much over. I don't think you could try to attack with the helicopters and take those down, but I still don't have enough cities, so that is game. The U.S. player really is up against a challenge. You could probably balance this a little bit better in the U.S. favor, but I'm not quite sure how to do that. But there's got to be some ways that you could do it. But anyway, that's Fortress America. I like this game. I think it's a pretty good game. I think a lot of the Milton Bradley Ameritrash games were pretty good during their day. They actually had some depth to them, which was kind of nice. And the components are great to these. I mean, with the little plastic pieces pushing around, it's just a lot of fun. I think a lot of serious war gamers kind of saw this as more of either something like Risk or more of a toy, but I do think these games are a little bit underrated. Anyway, that's what I got this week. I sure appreciate everybody for watching. Like I say, I probably made a few errors in that. You can comment them down below if you like, or not. It's fine. As long as you're following the rules as written, I think we're pretty good. So. Although I'll probably break those too. But anyway, I appreciate it, and we will talk to you later. Bye.